Hi, I'm Justin McGarry, coming to you from HPE Discover Barcelona 2025. Today, we've got an exciting lineup of the best of Barcelona to share with you. I'll be kicking things off with Rahim, HPE's new head of networking, to talk about the bold steps we're taking in bringing together HPE and Juniper and evolving the networking business. Then we'll hear from Fidelma Russo to learn more about our hybrid cloud announcements. And we'll wrap up with the key highlights from our HPE Labs leaders on the future of quantum. Let's dive in. Hi, Rami. Welcome.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here.
Thank you for joining me. So this is your first time attending HPE Discover here in Barcelona. What are some of the key highlights that you think everyone should take away as you're we have closed the Juniper and HPE acquisition?
So first, Justin, this is actually my second time at HPE Discover. I was here last year as a guest.
Yes.
So this is, in fact, my first time as an HPE employee.
Wow.
And it has been a very packed, but very exciting event. Honestly, I've enjoyed every minute of it. And if you ask about highlights, I mean, I've always loved engaging and interacting with our customers, learning from our customers, talking to our customers about their problems and the solutions that we have to offer to solve those problems. And I'm a technologist at heart. It's really around geeking it out with the technology. And the concentration of opportunities to engage with customers here is like second to none, right? Thousands of customers and partners. Many of them are so curious to understand about networking and what HPE networking is all about. So that has been a big highlight for me.
Yeah, there's a ton of opportunity there. I want to dive a little bit more deeply into networking.
Yeah.
So of course, that's been a major focus this week at HPE Discover here in Barcelona. Can you share kind of some of the couple highlights when you've been engaging with some of those customers, talking about networking? What are some of the things that have stood out to you?
Sure. Well, I would categorize them in two different areas. First would be in AI for networks, essentially leveraging AI operations to simplify day-to-day network management and delight the end user with an amazing experience when they use the network for whatever purpose. HPE Networking has two amazing platforms, HPE Juniper Mist and HPE Aruba. And many of our customers are curious about how these technologies come together. And we've been very clear that both of these platforms live on forever, and we will cross-pollinate the capabilities of each of these platforms onto the other, and in so doing, accelerate the pace of innovation for everybody without leaving any customers left behind. That message has been incredibly well received. And honestly, it's almost like I have an embarrassment of riches inside of HPE Networking when it comes to AIOps because of the power of these two platforms, and it's only going to get better from here. But then the other area that's equally important and exciting is the networks for AI. These are basically the networks that carry the AI workloads that essentially enable the AI inference and AI training of the future. And here we had some incredible announcements at this event. Everything from new platforms like the QFX 5250, the world's fastest data center switch based on the Broadcom Tomahawk 6 chipset. Yep. The MX301, which is a sophisticated, very flexible edge router for inferencing at the edge, and an incredible partnerships that we've announced with both NVIDIA and AMD.
Yeah, it was amazing to hear you talk about that story around the new capabilities in Antonio's keynote on stage here at Discover in Barcelona. You were talking a little bit about management capabilities, and you and I were having a conversation before we came here on stage about Apstra and data center assurance and the capabilities on the Mist AI platform and the opportunities in the future to connect with HPE products like Compute Ops Management. So along those lines, what are you thinking about as far as how we'll start to stitch more of HPE and Juniper together to be able to provide those solutions that our customers are looking for to help them achieve their outcomes?
Yes. The opportunities here to combine networking with other IT components across the entire HPE ecosystem, especially in the areas of compute and storage, and especially for data centers, is just enormous. It's enormous. All of our customers are asking about how our technologies are going to come together. And it's already started, and you just touched on one of them. Apstra is an amazing data center fabric solution that essentially simplifies the configuration and ongoing operations of a private cloud data center. What Apstra doesn't do is that it doesn't connect yet with what's happening in the compute and storage world. That's where OpsRamp comes into place. And we have already, just months into this acquisition, integrated Apstra and OpsRamp so that customers that are interested in deploying their own private data centers now have the ability to look across the entire stack and understand where there might be some issues, right? I mean, nobody else in the industry can do that. I think when it comes to the data center, HPE is truly unique in the full set of components that it has and the integrations between those components that it can offer to our customers. It's really, really exciting. We're solving some really important problems, and our customers are loving it.
And you mentioned customers. We've had so many customer meetings here. I've been in several over the last 2 days here.
Yes.
The theme, the constant theme, as you talk about, is the opportunity of bringing the portfolio together.
Yes.
And how that's going to unlock a tremendous amount of value for our customers. What would that main message be? You know, if you were to give a main message for everyone to take away from this week, is it that? What else would you add?
So it's that, certainly, but maybe the biggest message is that for anybody that thought that this combination is going to be so large and complex that we are going to lose sight of what is important, which is to innovate, to solve real customer problems, is wrong. It's just wrong. We are proving, not just with words, but with actual actions, with the products and solutions that are on the show floor, that are going to be in the market within not years, but weeks from now, that we are absolutely not going to lose any momentum. We're not going to miss a step in continuing to deliver what our customers care about, and to do it with an eye on real innovation. So, I mean, that's really the key message, and I think that we delivered that message loud and clear.
Absolutely. And Juniper has such an innovative culture, HPE as well. I've been now here just a couple years, and I feel that in engaging with your teams already, well, I think we'll be able to innovate very quickly to help customers achieve their outcomes and get that visibility across their entire data center estate and infrastructure. Really exciting times here. Rami, thank you for joining me, sharing all the insights into networking for AI and AI for networking. Really appreciate the time.
It's my pleasure, really enjoyed it.
Thank you. And if you missed Antonio's keynote or Rami's networking general session, you can watch the replay at hpe.com/discover/Barcelona. Next, I'll sit down with Fidelma Russo to continue unpacking what HPE's latest announcements and products mean for customers. Hi, Fidelma. Thanks for joining me.
Oh, you're welcome. It's great to be here.
I appreciate you joining me here on stage at HPE Discover Barcelona here in 2025. Speaking of, how many times have you been at this event now?
So I think this is my third time at the event, so it's great. It's great to be here again. It's a privilege, really.
Yeah, what do you think makes it unique this time around? This is my second time, and just even seeing the amount of attendees here and all the energy on the show floor, it's amazing to see the progress, even in a year. How has it been for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think the big thing, obviously, about the show this year is the networking aspect of it and bringing Juniper and Aruba together and being able to demonstrate tangibly the progress we've made in about 5 months. And then that's really reflected on the show floor. And the show floor, for people who've been here before, you can see is much bigger than it was before. And that's because we have such a broad portfolio. And so you can see it across hybrid cloud, across compute, across HPE Labs, across networking, and all of our partners. And so for me, those are the things that make this special.
Okay, and I know you announced some really key product innovations this week, as well as back in June at Discover in Las Vegas. Can you share some of the details about the hybrid cloud announcements that we did this week specifically?
Yeah, you know, Justin, this has really been a journey for us in hybrid cloud. We set the strategy a couple of years ago and have really been on the journey of having tangible proof points every Discover. You know, kind of our rhythm is Discover.
Yep.
And so We made some very interesting announcements this week, progress in AI. So with RTX 6000 Pro in our private cloud AI, complementing also our air-gapped version that we brought out and announced at GTC a couple of weeks ago. Really critical for sovereign deployments, especially here in Europe.
Absolutely, and there's every conversation I'm having with customers this week, number one topic is sovereign. So that's a really exciting announcement. Tell me some of the other critical announcements that you launched this week.
So from an AI perspective, it's the addition of the data nodes, the data intelligence nodes to the X10K and our unstructured storage. So that's another huge announcement complementing our AI offerings. Then we move to virtualization, another big key item on customers' minds. And we've announced the software-defined networking based on Juniper technology into our Morpheus offering. So now offering micro-segmentation to our customers. There are many announcements around Morpheus and VME, but the summary of it is that we really do have an offering that can start to tackle many of our customers' use cases. And then from an orchestration and an observability perspective, it's the announcement around COM into OpsRamp, the announcement, the further enhancement of capabilities with MCP agents now running in GreenLake Intelligence on the GreenLake platform. So, we try to do key announcements across every aspect of hybrid cloud, every Discover, to really make progress on that strategy.
And I know you and I were talking right before you came on stage about the HPE Compute Ops Management and OpsRamp integration. What are some of the reactions you're hearing around how we're just bringing the HPE solutions across the board, compute, networking, storage more closely together?
I think, what we are doing is we are solving a customer's problem, which is when they are looking at what is going on in my data center. We may not like it, but they don't really care whether it's a compute issue, a storage issue, or a networking issue. They really want that multi-domain approach to it, and that's what they love about finally the integration of Compute Ops Manager into OpsRamp, and now you have this ability to diagnose across multi-domains and to get root cause analysis using our AI agents and get fast response, because what an IT organization needs is uptime. Uptime for their applications.
Yes, and they're trying to take advantage of getting more time that they can put into more critical business initiatives versus working on keeping the lights on and figuring out what's red in their environment. So that's a great opportunity moving forward, working with our customers. So in addition to leading the hybrid cloud business, I know you have another role here at HPE as our CTO. So putting that hat on for a minute, can you talk a little bit about what's top of mind for you there, and in particular as you're looking at the future and some of the mega trends?
Yeah, so I'm very privileged to have HPE Labs as part of the organization, and I'm very honored for that. And we have a ton of really smart researchers, and it's actually a differentiator for us because we have the ability to look forward a little bit more than we would in the BUs. And one of the top trends, obviously, is AI, and we have a lot of researchers working on what's next in AI. But I think the next mega trend is quantum. And we're starting to see quantum become not so far away, but in the next number of years, especially around quantum coprocessors, along with running AI. And so we're deeply involved in that. We announced as part of a consortium a couple of weeks ago. And so that's really where our focus is as we move forward.
Okay, wow. So last question, so still looking ahead a bit maybe. Wearing both your hybrid cloud and your HPE CTO hats, what do you kind of anticipate will be top of mind for customers moving forward? You mentioned quantum, of course, AI. What else are you kind of thinking about as you're looking forward? And what are you hearing from customers?
So when I speak with customers, and this week especially, it's been all around, really customers are really moving ahead on their transformations. It's driven by AI. Some of it is around reducing their costs and their footprint around virtualization, and how do they balance that so that they have the money to invest as well as keeping up. And also, I think part of it is, how do they free up the time of their resources to make sure that they're up to speed on the latest technologies, because that's critically important. And so that is a huge theme, and they want a lot of help in doing that. And it's our job to make sure that we're spreading the knowledge and getting that information out there. And then I think the other thing, especially in Europe, is the idea of sovereignty. and data residency.
Yes.
It's critically important, and not just because of geopolitical things that are going on, but also really because with Gen AI, your data now has really become,
yes.
It's like gold. And so you really want to protect it like that.
Absolutely.
And make sure you're the one getting advantage from it. And so that's the piece that we keep hearing from customers over and over again.
Absolutely. Sovereign, it's a consistent theme in every customer conversation I've been having this week, and making sure that we're helping them secure their data. It is their data. They want to keep it sovereign and aligned to what they need to achieve in their business. So thank you, Fidelma, for joining me here today. Really appreciate your time. A lot of great announcements this week at HPE Discover Barcelona 2025, and you sharing some of those mega trends and the future of where you're heading as HPE CTO. Thank you again for your time.
Oh, thank you, Justin.
Before we wrap things up, let's hear from Kirk, Andrew, and Nigel from HPE Labs to talk about quantum, tech trends, and beyond.
As we think about that measure of quantum utility, something we want to do, we desire to do, done cheaper, faster, or better because we've incorporated quantum technologies, what are we seeing as that timeline, and where do we see the application for the enterprise of these technologies?
Yeah, so I think fundamentally what excites people about the promise of quantum is certainly that problem or use case that today would be considered computationally, infeasible. And so at the enterprise level, whether that's an optimization problem or where we would, deploy systems today, be it in pharmaceuticals, drug discovery, materials design. You think about, where we deploy a lot of our high performance computing solutions. Those I think are the areas that have, the most people excited right now. There's no universal timeline on this other than we know it's coming. Our customers are asking about it. We're tracking the progression, and our ability as we see it, quantum as a large accelerator, if you will, working towards that integration and that end-to-end workflow. And I know Nigel will have some thoughts here on just the requirements or other things that are happening that demand that we do things kind of to be ready for one of these systems. So I like to talk about it in terms of offense and defense, and we're working on both of those simultaneously.
Nigel, other than something that Richard Feynman would know and love, we have exactly one other application, and that is Shor's algorithm for factoring large integers, which is the basic of asymmetric public key cryptography. And so how should the world be preparing, and when should the world be preparing for a post-quantum cryptographic world?
So I don't know when what we call a cryptographically relevant quantum computer, which is one that can break many of the cryptographic algorithms on which we depend for our security. I don't know when one of these will be available, but you stay secure by being cautious, by being prudent. So we need to migrate to new, recently standardized, what are called post-quantum cryptographic algorithms. And this requires careful planning. It's an evolution. Cryptography is everywhere. It's spread all over our software and firmware stacks, and it's also embedded in the hardware. And it's the cryptography that's embedded in the silicon that is a particular concern to me, because if you think about when a chip is powered on, today it loads firmware. That firmware is verified by keys which are fused into the silicon. Those keys cannot be changed after the chip is made. So it means you can't just push a software patch in the field and upgrade it. You need to replace the device. So this requires planning. It requires planning to upgrade your hardware to make it quantum secure. Now, if you look at the advice coming from government agencies around the world, what they're saying is for your critical systems, have your plans in place by 2028, and then start to roll out that upgrade and complete your critical systems upgrade by 2031. And then follow on as fast as possible with the rest of your systems, and certainly no later than 2035, have your entire IT infrastructure deploying these new post-quantum cryptographic algorithms.
Thank you for joining us here at HPE Discover Barcelona 2025 for a deeper dive into all the excitement and news around networking, cloud, and AI. Be sure to check out even more on-demand content at hpe.com/discover/Barcelona. We'll see you next time.